In 1983, the video game industry was collapsing. The biggest companies in gaming were losing money. Retailers stopped trusting new consoles. Parents believed video games were just another passing trend. To many people, the industry was already dead. Yet within just a few years, one company completely changed that story. Today, Nintendo is worth billions of dollars and owns some of the most valuable entertainment franchises in the world. But Nintendo almost never became a gaming company. In fact, for nearly 90 years, video games had nothing to do with its business. Instead, Nintendo sold something far simpler: playing cards. Recognizing the growing demand, Fusajiro Yamauchi starts a small workshop producing handmade hanafuda cards. His goal isn't to build a global company, he simply wants to make better cards than everyone else. That decision becomes Nintendo's first competitive advantage. Instead of competing on price, it competes on quality. Every deck is carefully crafted. Customers notice. Demand grows. Within a few years, Nintendo becomes one of Japan's most respected card manufacturers. From a business perspective, everything looks perfect. The company has a strong reputation. Customers trust the brand. Sales remain stable. But hidden inside that success is a problem that many businesses eventually face. The market is small. A family doesn't buy a new deck of cards every week. Nintendo isn't failing, it's simply running out of room to expand. The company begins asking a much bigger question. What business should we be in next? That single question would define Nintendo's future for the next century. For decades, Nintendo continues selling cards. The business remains profitable. The brand becomes stronger. In the mid-20th century, Nintendo secures partnerships that introduce its playing cards to an even wider audience, helping expand sales across Japan. From the outside, everything appears stable, but stability can be dangerous. Because stable companies often stop looking ahead, Nintendo doesn't. Its leadership realizes something important. A company doesn't disappear overnight. It disappears because it spends too long protecting yesterday's success. Japan is changing. Consumer habits are changing. New forms of entertainment are appearing. Nintendo knows that surviving another 100 years will require becoming something completely different. So Nintendo starts experimenting. And over the next few decades, those experiments will produce some of the company's biggest failures. But one of them will completely change history. For decades, Nintendo remained one of Japan's leading playing card companies. The business wasn't failing. It simply wasn't growing fast enough. By the 1960s, Japan was changing. Families had more entertainment choices than ever before. Television was becoming common. Consumer spending was increasing. People wanted new experiences. Nintendo's leadership realized something important. If the company stayed in the playing card business forever, it would never become a global company. Growth required taking risks. So Nintendo began looking outside its comfort zone. Instead of betting everything on one idea, Nintendo experimented. Lots of experiments. Some made sense, others didn't. The company invested in a taxi business. The idea seemed reasonable. Transportation demand was growing, but Nintendo had no experience in the industry. Competition was intense. The business never became successful, so Nintendo moved on. Next came food products. The company experimented with instant rice. Again, the opportunity looked promising. Convenience foods were becoming popular, but selling food required completely different skills, different supply chains, different customers, different competition. The business struggled. Nintendo exited. Then came one of the strangest ideas: love hotels. At the time, they were becoming a profitable business in Japan. Nintendo explored the opportunity, but it quickly became clear that this industry didn't match the company's long-term vision. The experiment didn't last. One failure followed another. None of them created the future Nintendo was searching for. Most companies would see this as wasted time. Nintendo saw it differently. While searching for new ideas, Nintendo noticed something. Japan's economy was improving. Families had more disposable income. Parents were spending more money on children's entertainment. That market was growing much faster than playing cards. Instead of competing in another crowded industry, Nintendo decided to try something completely different: toys. Unlike its previous experiments, this decision made strategic sense. Nintendo already understood entertainment. Around this time, a young maintenance engineer worked inside Nintendo's factory. His job wasn't designing products. His job was maintaining equipment. His name was Gunpei Yokoi. One day, while working in the factory, he built a simple mechanical extending arm, not for customers, just for fun. Company president Hiroshi Yamauchi happened to see it. Most executives would have ignored it. He asked a simple question: what if we sold this? The toy became the Ultra Hand. To everyone's surprise, it was a huge success. Nintendo finally had proof it could succeed outside playing cards. Following the success of the Ultra Hand, Nintendo invested further into toys. Some succeeded, some failed. But something had changed. Nintendo wasn't trying to become the biggest card company anymore. It wanted to become the company that entertained families, no matter what form that entertainment took. Without realizing it, Nintendo was preparing for an opportunity that would soon appear: video games. And that decision would transform Nintendo forever.
The company needed another business that could grow for decades. Around the same time, arcade machines were becoming popular. Video games were no longer a small experiment. They were becoming an industry. Most traditional toy companies ignored them. Nintendo didn't. Instead of asking, should we enter gaming? Nintendo asked, can gaming become the future of entertainment? That single question changed the company forever. Nintendo's first attempts at video games weren't major successes. The company was still learning. It had no experience competing with established arcade manufacturers. Then, a young designer was given an opportunity. His name was Shigeru Miyamoto. He wasn't hired because he was an experienced game developer. He was hired because he had imagination. His first major project became Donkey Kong. The game introduced a carpenter trying to rescue someone from a giant ape. That carpenter would later become Mario. Nobody expected Donkey Kong to become a global hit. It did. More importantly, Nintendo realized something. Games weren't just software, they were characters. Players loved the characters, they would keep coming back. That idea would become Nintendo's biggest competitive advantage. In 1983, the video game industry crashed. Too many companies were releasing poor quality games. Consumers lost trust. Retailers stopped buying consoles. Many believed video games were finished. Nintendo disagreed. Instead of rushing into the market, it focused on quality. When Nintendo launched the Nintendo Entertainment System, it wasn't marketed as just another game console. It was introduced as an entertainment system. The company also controlled which games could be released on the platform. Developers had to meet Nintendo's quality standards. Some criticized the approach. Players trusted Nintendo because bad games became far less common.
That trust helped rebuild confidence in the entire gaming industry. Nintendo didn't just survive the crash, it helped revive the market. The success of the NES gave Nintendo something far more valuable than hardware. It gave the company recognizable characters. Mario, Link, Samus, later Pokémon, Kirby, Animal Crossing. Instead of depending on one successful console, Nintendo built intellectual property. Consoles eventually become outdated. Great characters don't. That strategy allowed Nintendo to reinvent itself generation after generation. The Game Boy changed portable gaming. The Nintendo DS attracted millions of new players. The Wii expanded gaming beyond traditional audiences. While competitors focused on better graphics, Nintendo focused on making games more accessible. It wasn't trying to win a technology race, it was trying to create experiences people would remember. That difference separated Nintendo from almost every competitor. Nintendo survived for more than 130 years, not because every decision was successful. Many weren't. It survived because it kept searching for the next opportunity. Very few realized the company spent nearly a century building businesses that had nothing to do with video games. Its greatest achievement wasn't creating Mario. It was surviving long enough to create him. And that's why, more than 130 years after it was founded, Nintendo is still one of the most influential entertainment companies in the world.